What's up, guys? Chris Brown from Train Boston coming at you with another wellness moment. Today, I'd like to share with you 6 tips to help you maintain or improve your overall wellness throughout the Thanksgiving holidays. Number 1, sleep. You need to get good quality and the right amount of sleep. I've spoken a lot on this topic a few times before, but every aspect of your wellness, from your workouts to your mental wellness, will be better with good quality sleep. First of all, your workouts will be better, which hopefully you're doing. This is due to muscle glycogen stores replenishing more efficiently. You use that muscle glycogen to work out harder, but also for other things in your body. Also, you'll breathe easier due to sleep's permissive effects on mucus retention, bronchial activity, and ribcage tension, meaning your ribcage will be able to relax. You will make better nutritional decisions. Due to sleep's positive effect on hormonal balance, you'll be more efficient with both macronutrients, which is your carbs, your protein, and your fat, and your micronutrient usage as well, which is all the vitamins and minerals in your body you need for metabolism, for mental acuity, etc., etc. Also, as deep sleep, stages 3 through 4, help you process emotional information, when you're well slept, you're going to think more clearly, which will lead to less chronic mental stress throughout your day. And you'll be better able to control your emotions, which will really help with those kids being picky eaters, working on getting your significant other to help with the dishes afterwards, and maybe with those pesky in-laws who don't necessarily agree with all your viewpoints. If you get a good night's sleep, everything will just go more smoothly, trust me. Number 2, exercise and or stay active. The morning of Thanksgiving and the morning after are actually very important for you to stay active, especially with weight training, but cardiovascular training works really well as well. Maybe both, if you're especially into it. After getting a good night's sleep, which we said before, you will wake more easily, and the next morning you'll be invigorated and you'll actually be ready to train. The workout will increase your metabolism for the day of, helping you process more of those calories for muscle glycogen in lieu of fat storage, and you'll be able to utilize protein for muscle repair and muscle gains instead of putting that all to the adipose tissue, which you don't want. You'll also be more motivated to continue to make better decisions later. When you work out, you get better blood flow, especially to the brain, which can help you continue to make the right decisions. When you're tired, you tend to have less willpower, right? If it's already routine for you, especially, your mind will want to continue to keep making these normal routine decisions throughout your day and your week instead of falling off into the bad behaviors that sometimes Thanksgiving can lead to, like eating pie and drinking alcohol early on in the day, and sometimes that can snowball to leftovers the next day and the next week, etc., etc. So plan a workout with your friends the morning of or the morning after as well. No one likes to work out when they've stayed up too late, drank too much alcohol, and eaten a lot of processed food. If you've ever done this, which we all probably have, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're just not going to get up to do things if you did these bad behaviors. Tell someone who will actually hold you responsible for showing up, or you can just pay for it, especially when you pay a lot to attend an event. No one likes to let others down, but we really can hate to waste money. Find whatever motivates you in that way. Or you can plan the workout yourself and just invite others. If you're especially good at it and you're especially motivated, this can help motivate you more. It's much more difficult to bow to a workout when other people are actually really relying on you. Finally, don't plan so much stuff that you're going to be crunched for time and it's just going to negatively affect your mental wellness. Make sure you do something, but don't make it so complicated, inviting so many people that it becomes this snowball effect that just ends up being a net negative. 3, manage your mental stress and be more mindful. First of all, we have bad emotions often throughout the holidays in general. This year can be way worse than usual. Loneliness and other negative emotions and stress are at all-time high for a lot of people, especially if this holiday you can't really have that many people or any people over. We don't want to just ignore it. We don't want to just push it down. We need to come up with a strategy to deal with it instead. So first of all, you can reach out to others. If you don't have somebody to share Thanksgiving with, make sure you're trying to find people to interact with. That can be in a lot of different ways. A lot of people are using Skype or Zoom or Google Hangouts to do video chats. That's a good idea. Even a phone call, hearing someone's voice that you care about can really, really help you get through that day. Maybe the phone call is a little longer than usual. You could possibly even use social media. Just tread carefully. Social media can be a negative experience for some people too. And as you'll see in a second here, it can become a bad behavior that we need to avoid. Do whatever works for you and what makes you feel good. Keep yourself busy. This works especially well with working out, reading books, listening to podcasts. For many of us, it will be cooking. And also, I'm going to have a few more tips later down the line on remaining mindful. Just make sure that these are positive behaviors. They're not keeping you busy because there's something that you're trying to stay away from before. That will be a net negative on your mental wellness later that day, later that week, etc. And acknowledge these bad behaviors. There are a lot of bad behaviors associated with loneliness and stress, like stress eating, drinking too much alcohol, and many other destructive behaviors. Minimize contact with these things by putting them out of sight, out of mind, or just getting rid of them from your house. Sometimes you just actively have to completely avoid that behavior. And for many people, this is right now, especially social media and TV. Get off your phone if you get stressed out by those things. That is not a good way to keep yourself busy, and it will not make you feel better if you are lonely or stressed out. If you are having company, don't get dragged into arguments with others. It's well known that you can't convince others your opinion through aggression, and you'll probably just end up making yourself more stressed out and the other party angry as well. But if you can't avoid discussion with other people, you can try to get through to them by using these tactics. 1, ask them to share their thoughts. Don't interrupt people. Listen to what they have to say. It may make you angry to hear it, but you have to control yourself. Don't raise your voice. Be calm. It's difficult, but try to be calm. And match their type of reasoning. If they're saying a lot of emotional things, maybe you can try to appeal to their emotion as well. If they're being logical, it probably works well for you to be logical too. And try to know the difference between the two. Oftentimes emotions seem logical at the time, but when you hear them said back to you, they clearly are not. And then you can try to be genuine. If you're genuine with people, they tend to act better. So if you really care about this person, which hopefully you do, because you invited them over for Thanksgiving, you should be giving them compliments. Agree that some of their points are great, that they're a good person so you can see their point of view, etc., etc. Pose counter arguments that aren't overly defensive. Don't attack somebody with an argument. Use an argument as putting information out there. Be open to that argument being incorrect. Whenever you get too aggressive, you close down any conversation, and again, it leads to that detrimental effect. And then don't hide behind jargon. If you know a lot about a topic, using more big words. In my industry, if I start talking about thorax or mandibular motion or something like that, it just makes someone feel bad or defensive, or it looks like you're trying to make them feel stupid. Don't do that. And finally, if you can just avoid it, just avoid it. Walk away, find something productive, maybe change the topic, something that you know they enjoy. Moving on. Don't forget to be mindful in many other ways you can be mindful. Work on it with eating. While cooking, pay attention to your food. We don't want to burn that food, but pay attention to every little thing you're doing, from basting a turkey to stirring rice, etc., etc. Smell the food in the air. Look at the scene. Look at what other people are doing. When you're eating food, chew more. Smell your food. Taste your food. Set down your utensils and drink water. Make sure you're actually experiencing everything. It's not a race. While this year might not be the best year for gatherings, whoever you do share it with, they do deserve your attention. So leave the phone, the laptop, the tablets, the TV, leave it for later. Football can be on TV. Maybe you can put it on the DVR or watch it later, but actually pay attention to the people that you're spending time with. This year especially, you can realize how important it is to spend time with people, and make sure that you do. Make sure you're there and not somewhere else thinking about what's happening next. We can also take breaks from all this stressful stuff. Maybe talking to your relatives is a little stressful, or maybe planning the whole day was a little stressful. Take breaks from these moments. You can go for a walk. You can listen to calm music. can pet your animal, cats or dogs. It's well known they can help in that, help us feel better. Get some fresh air, meditate, or just close your eyes in a quiet room and breathe through your nose for a few minutes. Spend some time thinking about yourself, and that's it. And be in the moment with everything. It doesn't matter what's happening. Experience what's happening. Be there. Try to experience the people, the fresh air outside, the emotions you're feeling, everything in between. Acknowledge it. And try to commit these memories to your brain, to your memory. Don't let them slip away. If you commit these good feelings, good moments, you can recall them easier when you're in a tough point later in your life. Number 4, make your day more routine. Now, this is huge. It's been proven that when we get routines going, really going, like 4 weeks or more of doing the same thing over and over again, it's super easy to keep it going. So on this one day, if you start your day off the same way you would start any other day off, you're more likely to have this autopilot feeling of doing the good behaviors you would do every single morning. For instance, you can go wake up, take a shower, brush your teeth, get dressed, have your supplements, get a workout in, drink water, all these things that you would do in your order. If you can keep that structure, you're going to be better even when things go off rails a little bit later. More of your day will be devoted to that structure, so that tiny bit of time where you're maybe a little bit bad won't influence you quite so drastically. Most people do best with nutritional and exercise habits during the week because they're structured around their kids, their family, their work, and they get to the weekends, they have time to sleep in, they can do whatever they want, and that's when they really fail. So if you can make your holiday more like a regular day, you're going to be less likely to slip. Most holidays are slightly hedonistic in nature with food and drink, so they tend to have these uncharacteristic feelings and behaviors. You should try to minimize them by doing these bad behaviors as little as possible and following up with your normal routine as quickly as you can right after that. The night before, practice your normal sleep hygiene behaviors. You may not do these yet, but hopefully you're going to start soon. Going to bed within 30 minutes of your normal time, dimming the lights, getting away from screen time, whether it's TV, phone, laptop. Stop doing work or talking or participating in stressful behaviors, whatever they are. Don't eat food late. Don't drink alcohol late, or even fluids too late, as they'll make you get up and go to the bathroom throughout the night and disrupt your sleep. Lower the temperature in your room to around 68 degrees. Make sure there's not as much noise, and make sure you're comfortable, etc., etc. Getting ready in that full routine will make you sleep better, but it will also get your behaviors more in line with what's normal. The morning of, go through all your regular habits, like I said. Hopefully you're eating breakfast. Hopefully you're drinking water and working out. And if you do all this, it will make it less difficult to break out any unhealthy funk that Thanksgiving will inevitably put you into. But it will also make you feel less stressed and feel more organized. Structure really makes people feel at home. Number 5, and this one's pretty obvious, nutrition. So every list you find out online is going to talk mostly about nutrition. So we'll breeze through this, but be picky about what you eat and what you make, for that matter, if you're hosting. If you're bringing food, bring something that's a good example, but not something that everyone's going to hate necessarily. You won't be able to eat everything, so really be picky about what kind of processed foods you have if you're going to have them. And have a healthy variety of foods if you are hosting. Your hors d'oeuvres should be better. They should mimic more of a full, whole, natural meal. Should have some protein and some vegetables in it. And it should be minimally unprocessed. So avoid the foods like pigs in a blanket, things like mozzarella sticks or French fries. Try to stay away from these foods and focus on the whole foods like turkey, like potatoes, like string beans and Brussels sprouts. Try to find foods that actually naturally occur. It's okay if you're having a little bit of the processed stuff, but base every time you put food in your mouth off of that thought process, including hors d'oeuvres, including desserts. Try to make it more natural. And on that same mindset, try to change the way you're thinking a little bit. Your parents probably raised you a little bit off mentally, and if they didn't, great. But a lot of people's parents told you, finish that plate. They told you need to eat everything on that plate. Well, don't. Find when you're full and listen to your body. Take a break from eating. Maybe come back later if you're hungry again later. And also, you don't need to have a grain-based meal. At the bottom of that pyramid we used to all look at, you don't need to have your meals based on grains. You can eat more vegetables. You can eat more meats. You can eat more whole natural foods. Don't need bread. All right. Don't need pasta. Don't need rice, etc., etc. And then finally, hydrate constantly. Make sure you are well hydrated before you start eating, earlier in the day, the night before, and drink water in between eating food. It will definitely make you feel fuller faster, but everything in your body will function better for it. And the last thing I have to say here, this one's pretty obvious. Be thankful. Regardless of how you spend your Thanksgiving, be mindful of what you do have and why it makes you happy. At the end of the day, most of our goals are trying to lead us to a happier place. You're probably going through Thanksgiving because you want to have people in your life be happier and you want them to bounce off you and make yourself happier. If you're struggling with the current status quo, remember, it won't last forever, and try to focus on the things that are currently making you happy and are currently making you thankful. Okay, that's all I have for you today. I hope these 6 tips are helping you getting through Thanksgiving without sacrificing your progress on creating and maintaining positive behaviors in your life. Until next time, be well. Thanks, guys.